How's your week been, man? How's your weekend, man? How was the weekend?
I worked all week.
Yeah.
Would you like to know what I did?
What you do, man?
Talked to a couple folks running multi-million-dollar businesses. We need tax strategy. And then I also, do you hear
Hey, Mauro,
echo?
how you doing? No, I don't hear anything.
I'm hearing an echo. All right. And then I helped the client go car shopping.
Okay.
So they're leasing a brand new 2016 Ford Explorer.
Cool.
What about you? Did you and Mom Dukes close any deals?
No, man, I actually got rental property I'm looking at. Me and my student, we're looking at doing it as a lease option. So we're waiting for that to come through. So I know we were talking about before, the lease option. So rental property in the works. And then we waiting for this rehab to get sold that we have in Prince George's County. We have it it's actually already sold. We're just waiting for it to close. So
okay.
Yeah.
So what about your rental?
Oh man, I'm still putting in the works on that one. Got some roaches in there.
Oh, that's light work.
Yeah, I had some roaches in there. Gotta get some paint. Put in some more paint and everything. So
all cosmetics.
That bad boy rented. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much cosmetics.
Okay. So all that stuff should be covered by the deposit.
Well, I mean, it was only a $2,000 deposit.
So you don't think that'll cover the cosmetics?
I mean, extermination is $1,500. Roaches. Yeah, no, I'm saying that thing was infested, bro. Wow. I'm saying the roaches was bad, brother.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into this, but it's 7:30. It's time to go live.
All right, man. Yeah, man. So, introduce yourself and everything. Let the people know who you are.
All right. Hello and welcome to another edition of Money Mondays. I am one half of the dynamic duo, Camari, Ellis, and I am here with Eddie, real estate guru Colson. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So I am Eddie Colson, real estate investor, as Camari said, located in the DMV. And so that's what I am.
All right. I'm Camari Ellis. I'm an investment and tax advisor. Just want to say hello to all our new users. If everybody could chime in and let us know where they're from, we give you a shout out. And please feel free to tell a little bird. That should be on your left-hand side, and let everybody know about us.
Tweet. Tell a little bird.
Hello, loves. Upgrade to me. Darisha Free.
Darisha. Hey, Darisha. How you doing?
I see Lamont Price is in the room. Lamont's actually a Facebook ads expert. That dude's a beast. Yeah. He's been giving me some coaching. He's been helping me out a lot.
Well, me and Lamont need to hook up too, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So today we got a great show in store for all of you. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I got to put Eddie in his place because last week him and was it Brian? They hijacked the show. We had a whole show lined out, itinerary, everything, but we had technical difficulties. So that was our very first one, and we experienced a couple of things we weren't ready for, even after doing a pre-run on that previous Saturday. But I think we still had a great show. Yeah. Upgrade me.
It was an awesome show.
Yeah, it was a great show. It talked about lease purchase. I learned some terminology I've never heard before. And I'm not a real estate novice, but you guys did like an intermediate to an advanced session.
Yeah, so it definitely was. We went high. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's
so
going?
So you're saying? I remember, today we're talking about stocks versus real estate. You're saying stocks is better, right?
That it will be the topic, the main topic for today. That is the main topic for today. Now, just want to let everybody know the purpose of us doing Money Mondays. Eddie and I teamed up because we want to share the love. We want to share the experience and the education that we've accumulated over times. I'm the old guy of the crew, right? So I'm a little lagging. Eddie, this guy is on fire. Look at him. Look at that beautiful smile. This guy's like 20 years old and he's dominating the real estate market in the DMV. So I bloomed a little bit late. This guy's ahead of me. So I got to find a new real estate person to model you after. Because I can't say the guy DT who doesn't like certain folks who's running for president. He's a total clown. So we gotta find somebody else to model you after. Somebody that's an upstanding guy. But at any rate, Eddie's
we're not gonna
over.
Go there though. What's that? We're not gonna go there though, because the politics is.
Well, no, not talking about politics, but the guy has done some substantial things in real estate. But I don't want to mention his name because I don't think it's worthy of mentioning. So we gotta find somebody else. Sam Zell. You ever heard of him?
Sam Zell. No, who's Sam Zell?
SAM, Sam, Zell. Look him up. Everybody in the room, look up Sam Zell. At one point, he was the largest real estate investor in North America. So he's diversified since then and went into some other things. But that was a guy last week whose name I couldn't remember.
Sam Zell, not Sam Zilly.
No, Zell. So that's a guy. You're the future Sam Zell. No, Lamont, Sell, not Zell.
Okay.
Yep. So today, like Eddie said, we're going to talk about stock versus real estate a little bit later on in the show. Just going to run over a couple of news items. Today, the market was up. Thank goodness. Last week, the stock market, that is, ended on a negative note. A lot of investors were scared because the Federal Reserve, that's the major bank in the United States, headed by Janet Yellen, decided to keep interest rates low. And that actually should help all those in the real estate market because mortgage rates shouldn't be on the rise anytime soon, hopefully anyway. So you found it? You found it, Eddie?
Yeah. I see the guy.
Okay.
I wonder if we're going to put any pictures up on here. Let's see.
That would be interesting. Eddie, is there anything interesting going on in real estate in terms of new news?
Let's see. I follow a lot of things in the Baltimore area. And I know that it's a lot of vacancy issues in Baltimore right now. So
which area
we're going to? Pretty much the city.
The entire city, the east side,
not
west
the
side?
Entire city, but just the lower end side.
Is that where the riots were?
Yeah, definitely. I could tell you about the riots, man. I was in the middle of two closings when the riots came.
Wow.
No, let me tell you this story, man. So it was in the middle of the riots, right? And I had this closing. It was a wholesale deal, and I was assigning the property. And pretty much the guy that bought the property wanted us to board it up, So we were, because the window was open. We bought it pretty much like that. And he was fine with it and said everything was cool, but he wanted us to board it up. So I called a couple of people to board it up. And I'll call in and be like, hey, this is, something board up or whatever, And I'm saying, yeah, I have this property I'm going to board up. And he's like, yeah, sure. What's the address? I said, 123 something Baltimore, Maryland. They said, oh, Baltimore? I said, yeah, Baltimore, Maryland. They said, well, right now at this time, we're not putting up board ups in that area.
Wow.
So I couldn't find anyone. I couldn't find anyone to put a board up on this property at all. So I mean, I was just pretty, and the buyer was pretty much just PO'd about it, and we had to kind of just like get a board up on there, but like without, just I don't know, just we found the board somewhere. I don't know, somehow a miracle, because I had a JV partner with it, and he pretty much found somehow to get a board up on, but it wasn't like an actual boarding company. And but the riots kind of and then there was a couple of properties that I had that I was trying to sell during the riots, and a lot of people just didn't want to buy it because they were a little bit scared of the riots.
Did the property get any damage because of the riot?
No, there was no damage. Nothing happened at all. But I just think just the fact that it was happening, that it kind of scared him,
right?
And other people in general. So.
Well, hey man, you got a story for your children and your grandchildren. How many real estate guys have really lived through a riot, especially at your age?
Yeah, definitely. It's like the LA riots.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Hi there, Watts Line. Welcome, Wanda Watts, I believe it is. How you doing? Michael D. Hines, how you doing?
Michael,
welcome to Money
what's going
Mondays. So, anything else going on in real estate?
Nothing right now, man.
Well, tell me this.
I know that
we just
mortgages are actually very, very low, like you just said. And that's actually on the hush hush. A lot of people don't really want to know. I mean, want people to know about that.
Why not? So, that's common knowledge, isn't it?
I mean, it is, but if you're not really in real estate, if you're kind of new and you're not really in real estate, like sometimes you just won't you'll just go the actual traditional route, the route that, everyone said that this is how I went. But now times may have changed and you're actually a better route, maybe, ahead like the mortgages, and they don't take that route because they just don't know about it or someone told them different.
How you doing, Benny Randall and Jim Skaggs? I hope I didn't botch up your name. Welcome to Money Mondays. But I'm seeing mortgage rates somewhere between $375 to $395 for a 30-year mortgage, fixed 30-year mortgage.
Yeah, they're pretty low right now.
Yeah, so at one point they were lower than that. I believe I saw $350, and actually I have some clients who were going a 15-year route. I don't have 15 years up right now. They're going to 15-year route, and I think they're getting like 2.75 somewhere around there. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm checking it now. It's thinking
Marketing Queen. Listen, Marketing Queen, I'm changing your name. Your name's Eddie's mom. Listen, Eddie's mom, just before we talk about that, Eddie's mom sent me a message. She was like, yo,
oh my God,
this is what y'all need to do. Da, 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 da. Run it down, get it done. But she was right. The lady's smart.
Yes, she is.
I'm just joking. She did inbox and she gave great encouragement, great suggestions. And she said, we stay consistent and market our show well, it'll work out. So Eddie's got great family support. Plus, him and his mom were in the process of doing some deals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
saying right now it's 3.7. The mortgage
for 30-year, right?
Yeah.
But you and your mom in the process of basically forming a family-run business.
Yeah, man. Pretty much the game plan is multifamily rentals.
Multi-family rental. So you want duplex, triplex, quadplex, apartment buildings.
Yep. The more the units,
the better.
The occupancy.
Okay.
Able to rent all of them out.
I mean, I just love the fact that you and your mom are working together. I really think that's awesome. I'm not even joking. Many people don't realize that wealth oftentimes in America and even around the world is really created with family. You hear a lot of people talk about the Rothschilds and how they're evil and so forth and so on. But all of that started from one father and it's like 4 or 5 sons. And the real principle of it all is they worked together. They communicated. They figured out how to corner some markets. It wasn't necessarily the most ethical, but at the end of the day, they worked together. So if you have that formula, you can do the same thing, and you see it with the Kennedys. I mean, even the clown whose name I don't want to mention, his family is together in it. And now I think about it, the richest family in the world is the Waltons, due to the Walmart stores. So Sam Walton started it. No, Benny, we can't say that name. It's illegal, man. We might have to eject you from the room. But the Waltons family is the richest family in the world, according to Forbes. So, and you know how they made most of their money? Stock.
Yeah. So why is stock better? Why is stocks? Let's get into it, man. Why is stocks? Or do you want to warm up a little bit? You want to wait?
I'm fine. I've been having this debate for years. So the reason why stocks are better, and before I get going, mind you, I'm framing this for the average person. Average American makes about $50,000 a year. All right. So that's who we're talking about. So the average investor making $50,000 a year would absolutely do better in the stock market. Fresh out of college, or could be working for a job for years. You have people in many situations like that. But let's say you're making $50,000. How hard is it to buy a piece of real estate? It's not the easiest thing. I'm not going to say it's the most complicated, but a person making $50,000 with $25 could go open an investment account today and begin investing. You can't do that in real estate. It's almost impossible to get a piece of land under contract in 24 hours. Now, it has happened, but those are outlier situations. I see Eddie over there popping his collar like, I've done it. I'm that good. But hey, man, you are not the average. You're special. You're the chosen one.
So, you say so, man. No, I wouldn't say that at all.
So you can start out with $25, right? You can invest that every month and build a portfolio and start to develop income from that. With real estate, you can't get into real estate for $25 usually, right? Usually when you first get into real estate, it's not going to generate income for you. And when you first get into real estate, 9 times out of 10, you have some form of debt. You got to take on a mortgage or get a loan from your homeboy, or maybe you have the seller hold the paper. That's what we talked about last week. I see you diverse portfolio. Is that what you're talking about, Bernie? In terms of stock?
Diverse in portfolio is pretty much the name of the game.
I don't know about that either. That's a topic for another show.
Another show.
Yep. We got to talk about it another show. But so I got a couple of things. So low barrier to entry for stocks, low money barrier. Right, you can start with $25. The other thing is stocks are more liquid. So let's say the average home in America, I believe, is $150,000, $170,000 last time I checked. Eddie?
Say that one more time.
Average home in America, $150,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100. I would say 150.
Let's say
I would say maybe $250,000, 250,000.
Okay, let's go with 250,000. Well, I'm in Philadelphia.
I mean, it depends. An average means, because if you're talking about,
I'm talking national.
I would say
I understand real estate's local, but your market, home prices are probably a bit higher than Philly's. So let's go with $250,000, and let's say it's debt free. Can you get that $250 that day?
No, you may be able to. But
if you have a stock portfolio worth $250,000, you can get that money that day.
I mean, you can get 20% of that.
What?
Of the $250,000
for real estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
how long does it take you to transact that?
Usually takes 30 days. It could take 2 weeks, but it all depends on the closing on the the title company.
Can you get it in, let's say, less than 3 days?
No, you can't.
Okay. So if I have a stock portfolio worth $250,000, I can get it in 3 days, literally. So I can have cash, $250,000 in 3 days. Now, here's the other thing. So we got the liquidity, we got the ease of getting into the market. And again, this is averages for your average person, $50,000 earner a year. The other thing is stocks have outperformed real estate over the last 100 years.
Comparing what?
So using the Case-Shiller index, the big time professor Robert Shiller does an index of all metro homes. And you go back 100 years, I think it's 100 year plus years. It's like 1860, 1890. You look at it, real estate's done about 5% a year. Now, granted, you have some areas like San Francisco, Miami, back in the heyday, Vegas. Now they're outliers, but typically average.
We're talking about home sales.
Yes, home sales.
Okay.
But average, it's about 5.5%. Stocks have done about 8-9%. I got to go get the actual stat for that one, but it's about 8 or 9%. So it's done better. So you need more money to get into real estate. The whole time is longer. Access to your capital is harder. So to me, stock for your average person is a way better investment to go. Now, with all that said, I think we got a question. Upgrade to me. But don't you get tax penalized for taking out stock early? Or is that just specific for retirement specific funds?
How many fees is associated with stocks?
What's that?
How many fees is associated with stocks?
Oh, well, let me answer up
tax.
Upgrade to me. I'm stuttering over here. Excuse me, folks. Tax penalty. You only get a tax penalty on stocks if you take them out of your retirement account before 59 and a half. Before that, you do have to pay what's considered a capital gain, right? So you have two forms of capital gains. You have a long term and you have a short term. So when you sell your stock a year or early, it's short term. But guess what? Real estate is subject to the same tax. So you have to pay that same tax if you sell real estate a year or less. So it's a short term gain. If you hold any asset a year or more, it's considered a long-term gain. And they're two different tax rates. So if that's what you're talking about in terms of penalty, you can say yes or no. But all things being equal, no, there's no penalty. Okay, you said, it is. Yes, real estate's the same in terms of taxation, short-term versus long-term. Listen, double check, triple check everything. I don't just suggest you believe any talking head, and I guess I'm qualifying as a talking head today because I'm on the screen. But talk to your tax advisor, your stock advisor, and, they'll let you know. And also, there's certain things particular to your situation that, I might not know about or I'm not covering. But 9 times out of 10, there's no penalty. There is no penalty. Now, Eddie, you had a question about fees.
Yeah, I just, as far as any type of fees associated with any type of stocks, buying stocks, selling stocks, fees.
There are fees. People have to get paid, right? So stock market, I'm going to say the highest trade, again, based off that 250,000. And let's say you own 10 different stocks. So to sell out, you'll have 10 different trades. And let's say they're all even. They're 25,000 a piece. And let's say you're paying the highest trade cost out there. That might be about $20. It's a lot lower than that. It's closer to like $5.99 or $7.99. Now, since I'm a professional, I pay a lot cheaper. I pay fractions of pennies. So I don't track the fees all the time. But if you sold all 10 of those positions at $20, that's $200, and you can get your $250,000. I don't know any real estate deal that you can do for $20. And of course, taxes, right? Can't forget about taxes. We all had to pay Caesar. Caesar wants his due, and Caesar is Uncle Sam. So I don't know, $200, processing, closing, titles, search, insurance. I don't think you're getting out of a transaction for $200, baby.
Yeah.
So ready, you jump out of real estate and get in a stock? I told you.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. Here's the reason why I like real estate a lot more than stocks. And I wouldn't call myself a stock expert at all. But, I do have like some different stocks here and there.
Candy Shop, is there a place for rookies to learn about stocks? Yes. I run a group called Stock Market Tigers on Facebook. Eddie's in there, and we talk about stock, and I'm just starting to get it revved up. I also have an investment basics course on YouTube. It's totally free. You can watch it and get going and get the basics. Now, I see there's a bunch of questions. Upgrade to me. I'm studying for my securities license, so I'm sure I will come across it. Thanks for answering. Okay, cool. Congrats. Come holler at me once you get into the industry and you see how you like it. I have some particular thoughts on the financial services industry. Is there a place for rookies? Yep, I answered that. Okay. Eddie's mom says stocks are riskier than real estate. I don't know, Mom.
Mom's a smart woman.
I don't know, Mom. A lot of people think that. I would disagree. But I need to know kind of what the foundation of that is. What makes it more riskier? Now, if you look at the stock market crash the real estate and the stock market crash between 2007 and 2009, everything fell. Everybody jumped off a cliff. Prices bottomed out, right? What rebounded faster? Stocks did. Real estate prices are still underground many times. And again,
it's a slower payoff, but it's steady. Here's the thing about real estate. Real estate is something that's tangible, something that you can hold, something that you can touch. It's like gold, silver, diamonds, all that good stuff. Stocks, it's pretty much cash, and cash depreciates over time. The thing, about the study that you were talking about, they're not talking about rental properties. If you have a property, especially like a multi-family property or something like that, and then you rent it out, you're going to beat inflation over time. Plus, you're getting more equity in the property once you put some of that money back inside the, to pay off the loan. If you have a loan or if you don't have a loan, but if the fact that you have equity in a property, you have a place to stay, you have rent. There's so many different advantages that stocks just can't give you. And one thing is that everyone needs a place to stay at the end of the day.
You're pulling from the room. Okay, but we're talking about investments. We're not talking about a place to live. So we're talking about a place to live. We're not talking about stocks, right? We're talking about just straight investment. And because where you live typically isn't an investment. To me, that's the biggest lie people tell. Your residence is not an investment. It's a place to live.
Yeah, I mean,
hold on, Benny. Just let us get through this, but stick around. We'll definitely have you in to talk a bit. But so it's not about having a place to live. I'm talking pure investment. What's the return? What's the income potential? Now, I know what you're going to say. If you get a duplex or a triplex, you can rent out one and you can and live in the others. And that's true. And actually, I recommend that for most young folk who are single, getting established because of a couple of reasons. You get a great tax deduction. And like you said, you get subsidized living. But we're just talking a straight return. So if we're looking to create wealth, just straight wealth, dollar for dollar, apples to apples, we got to kind of look at it without the living situation.
Got you.
Right.
I mean, well, the thing about real estate is very, very broad. Very, very broad.
It is.
And you don't have to.
Let me just say this one thing I forgot. This is best for
Oh, man.
Did you know you can buy real estate with stock? It's called REITs. REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. So you can buy real estate paper, not tangible, but you let somebody else do all the work. You buy the stock and let somebody else do all the work. Some of your biggest malls are owned by REITs, and those companies trade on the stock exchanges. And one of the things about REITs, they have to pay out 90% of their profits. So there's your income piece right there. So you can still get into the market, be diversified, so you're not all your real estate in one place. Because that's what I find with real estate investors. They just typically own all their residential, it's mostly residential, in one geographical location. So when Miami's super hot and then the market bottoms out, it tanks, and it's been really hard to come back. Now, it's been some great properties down there selling for dirt cheap, and you know it's going to come back after a while, but you got to be willing to wait that time out.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about real estate, with me is that you can buy real estate and sell it without actually having to come out of pocket at all. There's wholesaling, obviously, which, is something that I teach. There's wholesaling. If you was to just buy a property, put a little bit of paint on it, and then just put it back on the MLS.
Well, wait a minute. Let's back up. I got a question.
Which is investing in itself.
It is. But you said no money at all. No earnest money?
You don't actually have to have earnest money to get it. So let's say you was to get a property. You don't actually have to put up the actual money. You can actually just have an end buyer put up the money in a wholesale deal.
That's true. There's a couple questions and statements in there. Lamont Price, if you're new to investing, don't touch penny stocks. Penny stocks are the devil. All right. It's like Eddie said, real estate's broad. Stock investing is broad. A lot of people lose their shirts in penny stocks. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, but if you don't have money to lose, I would stay away from it. So, okay, Benny says the broker and hedge fund manager or just paper pushers who get paid if you make money or not. Benny, that's very true. But most people can't get into a hedge fund. I'm guessing you're talking more about mutual funds, which is still true. So I'm not even trying to debate that. I'm a big proponent of people doing their own investing a lot of times. So I agree. Investing isn't rocket science. I think anybody can do it. It just takes a little time and dedication. All right.
Got to know how to know your picks. Pick the picks.
But it's like know how to pick real estate, right? You can't buy every piece. I'm trying to find these.
When I think about a real estate investor all in itself and a perfect real estate investor, I think of someone who works on both passive and then both flips. So they work on rental properties, but they have a good property manager in place. They don't have to be on the properties itself as far as the rentals. They also have their fix and flips that they do on a regular basis. and then they have their wholesaling that they do as well. So, I mean, when you're a real estate investor, you want to be doing all those things, but have your niche on one specific thing. But have a partner or a joint venture partner to help you with the rental properties, or if you're better at managing, have someone to help you with the acquisitions.
I think I just made a mistake, and I apologize. I kicked that hazard button on beauty Sylvia. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but sure, I can help you, Sylvia. If you're on Facebook, friend me. You can find me at Camari Ellis CA, and well, it's right there. It's right there. And just search me out on Facebook. You can find me, or on Twitter. Hello.
Don't forget to tell a little birdie, guys. Tell a little birdie. Tweet.
All right, we got some more questions and some more statements. All right, we got no penny stocks, Lamont. I said that again, but I got to say it one more time. No penny stocks. People need to live. We addressed that.
Man, I wish I had a voice like Camari. He got that. No penny stocks.
Okay, so upgrade to me is going to help me put a nail in this argument. So her response is, you can't move the property, right? But stocks don't require credit checks and high capital. So that's kind of what I was saying earlier. You know, if you're going to get a mortgage, you're going to have good credit, or either put down a high amount, or possibly do some creative financing and have the person hold the mortgage or the paper. But that's still more complicated than typical buying a stock. You know, that's sophisticated.
It's a long-term investing. If you're doing an owner finance deal, you can put down nothing. You can put down nothing if you want to. If you and the seller agreed on that, you know, if you say, look, I want to buy your property for $100 a month. If you say, look, I'm going to give you $100 for over 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, you can do that. Just put it on a piece of paper, you know how to structure it, go to the title company and close. And now you can put a tenant inside there and be cash flowing every single month.
And how often are those deals?
Those deals happen. Deals happen, man.
I believe they happen, but how often? So out of all the deals, let's say there's 1,000 deals done every day in Baltimore. So out of that 1,000, how many do that type of deal?
Well, it's a numbers game. You know, you got to have a certain amount of leads that comes in. And then when the numbers come in, you have the flips, you have the rentals.
You see, you're getting a high five because they like how you pivot. They like how you pivot. You're pivoting. You didn't answer the question, man.
What's the pivot? Okay, okay. So what's the question? Repeat the question so I can clarify.
Out of 1,000 deals, how many of those deals are like what you described?
You can they close a lot more quicker. So if you can get those, maybe let's say you get
how many?
I'm saying you can do about one every month.
So out of 1,000 a day, 30,000 in a month. Or you know what? Let's say 20 in a month, right? Because it's 5 working days. Title companies aren't closing on the weekends, right? So you're saying one out of that 20,000, or that's just the one for you?
I'm saying that, one out of that 20,000, but
those odds don't sound good, man.
But here's the thing though. You can actually do those deals with the banks. You can do those, it depends on what type of, how you're getting your properties.
Okay.
So, I mean,
so that means at the end of the day, you need to do more trainings. You need to be showing everybody and their mom how to buy real estate with no money down, like Carlton Sheep did years ago. So you need to become the new black Carlton Sheets.
But here's the thing. I mean, people are doing that now, though, Kamar. Like you can do wholesale and flip. That's a flip. That's just the same as a quick flip as if you was to do a rehab property, but it's a smaller profits. You can do a creative finance deal where you're not coming out of your pocket at all, and you can just put a tenant inside, and you own the property, but you're only paying $100, $200, $500 every single month to the seller, and you're not coming out of pocket at all. Those are deals that's just me and you. If I walk into into the mall and I talk to a couple of people, and we start talking about the properties that they own, and I have a conversation with them, we can close some deals, and I buy properties, versus sitting in the point is we're making transactions off of conversations.
Okay.
And we're not coming out of pocket at all.
I can go for that. Now, everybody remember, we're talking about investing for the average person. We're not talking about what they consider rich or the 1%, because I see Benny's on the floor about the credit checks. So remember that if you don't have good credit and you don't have cash, you normally can't get the loans. But I'm with you, Benny, because I hate loans too. I have one client who's a developer, and I've been trying to get him to become his own bank. He has the funds in certain places, but he won't do it or do it in the time frame that I would like. So he still has to deal with banking finance or traditional finance. Now, I will say this: construction loans with a favorable bank give you some great options. I will say that. But I'm with you. You can go in with cash, you can refinance, and you can do some other things. But guess what? That same cash, you ain't got to worry about the bank. You ain't got to pay no fees, and you can buy the same amount of a good company, a good stock, without having any work. See, I guess I'm lazy. I used to be a property manager. I've had property managers literally defecate in my units, urinate in my units. So it really depends on what your temperament and personality is. I hated doing evictions, So to sit here, I know we're having fun and talking about stocks versus real estate, but it really depends on what your temperament is and what you want to do. Just like every man's not for every girl, or every girl's not for every guy, or lady. I don't want to be on PC. It really needs to be customized on how you're going to make money. But I still say pound for pound, dollar for dollar, stocks are better than real estate. I'm not moving off of that.
It's just not true. I mean,
I've already laid it down. I laid out like 5 examples. Liquidity.
But at the end of the day, when you're thinking about interest rates.
Don't boo me, Benny. Don't boo me. Where's the love?
When you're thinking about interest rates in itself, and just inflation in itself, if you have a rental property versus a stock, the rental property is going to win. And the fact that
in what world?
In this world.
Okay. How so?
The world that we're living in right now. This reality. If you have a rental property, if you bought it, especially if you bought it with cash, and then you get the rents. At any time, you can take money out of the property to buy anything else.
At any time?
As long as it has equity in the property, you can go to the bank and just say, "Hey, I want to."
So y'all heard me earlier when I said I'm the old guy and Eddie's the young guy. So Eddie's young money and I'm old money. We like cash money. So I'm baby and you Wheezy, but you can't kiss me. All right, you can't kiss me.
No.
But if you remember back to 2007, 2008, people couldn't get mortgages. The credit market seized up. So that's not true. That's not true.
The banks. You don't need the banks. You don't need credit. You can use
hard money.
Either other people's money. You can use other people's money.
Okay.
Hard money charges usually 15%, right? Plus some points.
Mm-hmm.
So if you was to go to any person, a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, anyone that to give you money, whether it's a down payment or any type of way, you just got to be creative and pay them 10%, 12%.
So you have to be able to identify your investors, because what you're talking about now is getting investors, and this is your average person. Remember, $50,000. So the doctors or lawyers that you know are just going to give some average guy who's never done a real estate deal, I don't know, 250 grand.
So this is what you do. You start as a wholesaler.
Okay.
You start looking at
so this is some custom. This is some straight customized stuff, right? So I didn't want to break out the big guns, and I was trying to keep it simple because we could do margin deals and stock also. You know, Benny started talking about hedge funds. They take out loans and do leverage. So I was just trying to keep it simple. But we can go there.
So you're saying that you can get money from your stocks?
Yes.
You can take it, okay, and then pretty much get loans?
I think.
Got you.
I think.
Well, you can still use that property to rent it out after you get the loan. Are you...
Say that again?
I mean, yeah. I'm guessing maybe you can use dividends and say that, okay, well, those dividends are...
No. So you got $250,000. Your buying power off of that $250,000, if you have the right account, is about $750,000. So you can do leverage with stocks just like you do in real estate. And guess what? You got to worry about a credit check. So you can get credit with stocks with no credit check. Instant leverage. It's a TO, baby. Count it. Put it in the books.
But you don't need credit. You don't need credit for a real estate transaction either.
But that's some old sophisticated stuff that most people don't do.
It's not a sophisticated thing that all you got to do is just have a know-how. If everyone knew about it, you know, people would be doing it a lot more, I think.
And I think if people would be doing what I was just talking about, they would make a lot more money. Now let's think about this. How many families or people are in the Forbes 500 because of real estate investing versus stock? I mean, Warren Buffett's probably got more money than just about everybody in the index.
Yeah.
And then the next is like the Waltons, and you got people like Steve Jobs. They're all there because of stock. They started a business.
But what is Warren Buffett doing right now?
He's trading stocks.
You ever heard about Berkshire Hathaway? Yeah.
Warren Buffett founded Berkshire Hathaway.
What's the name of it? What's the name of the?
And if you look at their 8 shares,
real estate brokers.
Yes, they brought that. Oh man, you reaching. Guess what? He brought real estate brokerage, and he also brought a car dealership. He'll buy things that make sense. He's been buying a lot of service businesses.
Yeah, I mean, it's real estate in itself is a business.
It is
just like. You know, if you was to have a business and then just have the businesses, and business usually 9 times out of 10, unless it's online, is real estate. Everything is real estate.
Not necessarily.
Even employment itself has to do with real estate.
Tell me something. Who is the biggest hotel owner in the world?
What is it? Is it Hilton? Is it Hilton?
What's that? Hotel. Biggest hotel.
Is it Hilton?
No. It's Airbnb. Guess how much real estate they own?
How much?
None. So you can control real estate without necessarily owning it. Just like Uber.
Which is real estate investing. I mean, if you was to be a private lender, like how I offer people certain money, some people just give money to real estate investors and they give them a percentage.
Right, but you said everything's real estate, and I'm saying that it's not. A lot of things are moving to the web and through being controlled through technology.
Okay, I got you. So, what do you do with the space? Where do people go to live?
You know, people say that we're going to run out of room. Is that where you're going?
I'm not necessarily saying that, but at the end of the day, space is only a certain amount.
If I were to tell you right now that that's a lie, would you believe it?
I wouldn't. You know, that's not what I'm arguing. What I'm arguing is that space is a space in itself. Never gets bigger. You only have, there's one.
That's true.
You know,
we got what?
Land is
we have 7 or 8 billion people on the planet right now, right?
Okay. I think it's like 7.3 or something.
You can fit the world's population inside of Texas. Mm-hmm. Not the United States, not Russia, not China's population, singular, the world, and still has space left over. Now, the question you have to ask yourself, will we have enough resources? Will we have enough water and things like that? But just straight up space area, we have plenty of it. We have plenty of it. We have plenty of it. Now, we've been talking the whole time. It's 8:18. We only got a couple minutes, and we still got a bunch of questions. So as we answer questions, can you guys...
Let's open up the seat. Let's hold on.
Let's answer all the questions, right?
Okay.
But can everybody go tell a little bird about us? Eddie, Young Money, Rich Money.
Yes, sir.
And Camari, Money Mondays, every Monday, 7:30. And let us know, what do y'all think's better in the chat? Give me a 1 for stock and a 2 for real estate.
I didn't even get to finish. I want to go in about real estate, man.
Do we need a part 2? We need a part 2.
I mean, we can have a part 2, definitely, because at the end of the day, real estate has so many more advantages than stocks.
Come on, Benny, stop.
Can you live in a stock?
Cheating. You bullying right now.
In a stock?
Benny.
And check.
Benny.
So 2 is real estate, right?
Yeah.
2 is real
estate.
Okay. And check this too, right? Check this too. A business, investing in stocks is just a business in itself.
Everything's a business in itself.
Business can burn down at any day and fall and crash. Space, real estate, where space in itself is always going to be, it's like gold. The reason why gold is valuable because there's only a certain amount of it.
No, that's not why gold's valuable. But
why is it
come back to that. Listen, are you and Benny related? I think he's a man. Between him and his mom, y'all getting all the love. You're getting all the love, man.
I mean, because it's true. You cannot live in a stock. You cannot rent out a stock. You can get dividends, but you just can't actually get money. I mean, you said that you can get money out of a stock, as a loan, but at the end of the day, real estate has equity, and it's tangible.
And it has
you can touch
the equity you had to pay to get it substantially.
You don't have to pay to get it. Don't let anyone fool you. You don't have to put all you have to do is have a conversation with someone and say, look, I want to buy your property for $300 a month. All right, well, how are we going to do that? I don't know. Let's get a lawyer. And a lawyer can do it. Boom. You don't actually have to even know, this is actually an owner finance deal. No, the lawyer will know.
So we said 250,000 was the number we're using. So we got a grandma who has a house worth 250,000, and Smooth Talking Eddie comes along, and she says, "Grandma, we can get you money, the 250,000." Yeah, the ringers. Benny's a ringer, and Mom is a ringer. It's cool. Y'all can get all the hearts. Thanks for the hands up. Thanks for the hands up.
I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it because I'm killing it. The more props I get, the more I know that I'm winning.
No, the count got us even. Because the best answer I truly saw was upgrade to me. She said 3, and she said both.
Yeah,
but I
will agree.
I'll come. So this old lady, this elder says, "Yeah, baby, you could have all 250,000 of my dollars for $300 a month." That's
enough. All right, start over.
Good one.
What did you say?
So this young lady, this elder we're talking about, has a property full of equity, 250,000. Right. So you're going to help her get access to that whole 250 with only 300 a month?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely do, a certain amount. We would have to look at the numbers to see. The first thing I would do is I would look up how much rents are. Obviously, I would look up how much rents are.
What if she doesn't want to be a renter? What if she doesn't want to be a renter? What if she wants to take her? What if she wants to take her 250 right now, and let's say she's in Baltimore, she wants to move to Florida and retire, and the place in Florida is $500K.
List it with a realtor, and then I look for another deal.
Oh, how much is that? 6%? Realtor? 6 times 2?
A realtor?
Yeah.
Yeah, realtor usually 6%.
So we're talking at least $12,000, $13,000, $14,000. To get my $250K, I only need $200.
That's not real estate investing in itself. I mean, you can have. I mean, because if I'm not going to buy a property at retail value $250, or I can probably buy it and then sell it for $250. But the scenario, I see where you're going with this, but the scenario was flawed. That's all. I'm thinking
you painted the scenario. What do you want me to do? I'm just working what you gave me. But listen, we don't have that much time. Right, we got some unanswered questions. Somebody asked about brokerage fees. They range anywhere
I'm the real estate person, by the way.
Yes, Eddie's the real estate guy. I'm the investment and tax guy. Not real estate fees. Eddie's brainwashed me. Stockbroker fees are anywhere from, let's say, $15.99 per trade. So if you want to buy 100 shares of a particular stock, let's say Microsoft, it'll cost you $15.99 when you buy it. When you go to sell it, it'll be another $15.99. They call that round trip. Now, that is not an endorsement or a recommendation to sell or buy Microsoft, just using it for educational purposes. All right. Any other questions you see? If you directly invest and buy company shares, can they decide whether or not they will pay dividends? Yes, that's true. The board of directors will dictate when dividends are issued. This was also issued during stock market crash. Sorry, going to all day. Yeah, that happens. But you can compare that to just like real estate when your tenant moves out and trash your place. So when extreme things happen, the companies had to take extreme measures. Some more questions further. How does Blab generate revenue?
Tenants pay deposits. There you go.
I'm not sure how does Blab generate revenue. I'm guessing at some point either they're going to charge us for ads, just like every other.
That's a whole nother discussion, man.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. That is true.
They will probably put ads on, though.
Right.
That's probably what's going to happen at some point.
Upgrade to me said you can stock up on bricks to build the house. That is true. That is the route I would recommend for most. Gives you the most amount of control, most amount of liquidity.
Real estate is the way to go, guys. Get into real estate. Buy real estate.
Any other questions?
Buy stock secondarily, though. Secondarily. Because okay.
So
let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, I don't see. What are any other questions? How do you seek a broker? You can just go online and Google stockbroker, and you'll get a whole list of them. They spend a lot of money on advertisements on the internet.
Hey, Camari, you ever heard of tax liens?
Yes.
What you think about tax liens? Think they're pretty good?
So here's the kind of honest truth, right? I love all investments, from real estate to stock. Now, I do like stock for the average person that doesn't want to do a whole bunch of work, who wants to come home and sit in front of the TV, drink a beer, and relax with his dog. Because you have most people that are like that. The others who are like Eddie's, who want to get out and hustle and make real estate a business, that's a different story. But most people aren't like that. So that's why I painted it as the average person. Now, if you're above average, yes, you can go onto the market. You can flip real estate. You can rent real estate. You can wholesale real estate. You can do all that. But guess what? That's a lot of work. Flipping is not for the person who has a 9-to-5 job. If you've ever done a flip, you'll see you have to supervise your construction folks. You have to supervise your GC. So it's not for the person who's working a 9-to-5. But if this is what you do
Guys,
all day long, I would look at it. Go ahead, Eddie. I'm sorry.
I'll say this: if you want to get into real estate and you want it to be easy and you want to put your money into it, let's say you want to put a little bit more. I'll say, become a private lender.
It's funny.
I'm a private lender.
So one of the people I met with over the weekend, that's one of the things we're talking about.
Private lending.
Private lender. Yep.
Yeah.
But he has the cash to do it. It's not his day-to-day income.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. No problem.
Hey, Amina 49, welcome. Amina would have loved this. She's a real estate investor. She loves real estate. She does just about every facet of it, from renting to development.
Oh, cool. We got to hook up. We got to link up, Amina. Real estate is the truth.
So clearly, I think Eddie's rigged the room. Everybody's biased. Tenants pay deposits. I saw that. I wanted to address it. I see you bigged it up, Eddie. So earlier in the green room, we were talking. Eddie just had an eviction, right? And he said his repairs are going to exceed the deposit. So he's in the negative for that, right? So it's not just about the deposit. It's about the whole kit and caboodle. And technically, you can't count the deposit as part of your investment. First of all, most states require you to hold the deposit in escrow.
Get a bigger deposit.
Amina, my friend Amina has swung to the dark side. 0 evictions in 20 years.
What?
That's unheard of. I need to talk.
We need to talk.
Yeah, I need to
we
talk.
Need to talk. Definitely.
Now, Amina is she's a wordsmith. So she's saying 0 evictions in 20 years.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean she hasn't folks walk out without money. I mean, she's
been in the game for at least how?
Cap Welch, 0 evictions in 8 years. Tell me,
wow.
how'd you do it?
So we're gonna get these guys to get on to the seat and talk to us.
All right, y'all want to go a little bit longer?
Finding the right tenant, exactly, Mom.
Hey, Benny, I'm not gonna let you run rough shot, buddy. I already know you're rigged.
Yo, you need to stop.
What's up, Benny?
Benny, what's going on, buddy?
I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. How about you guys?
Good. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah. First and foremost, I just want to, I'm glad you guys are having this conversation. I think younger guys need to, this is a great topic, et cetera, et cetera. But Eddie, I'm going to give you props because you're in the right mindset. Not saying you're not in the right mindset, Ellis. I'm just saying it's like this, point blank. You see behind me where I live? You see right here?
Real estate. All
day. See all those lights? That means somebody living in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see a lot of dark lights too. Come on, bro. Come on. You got to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. You got to keep it 100 with me.
That's because they're not home.
They sleep, man.
Or it's a vacancy.
Exactly.
What town you in, Benny?
I live in Manhattan, New York City.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
It's money making Manhattan. This is
he's in the money center of the world. He's probably got the lowest tenant vacancy rates anywhere.
Absolutely. And right now luxury real estate includes those type of buildings.
Say that one more time.
Luxury real estate is booming here because people want all-inclusive type of buildings. They don't want to have to leave the house for nothing.
That's true.
So it's like $1 billion project over on the Hudson. So what I want to say, based on what you were saying earlier, stocks are good, but stocks are invisible money. Okay, so unless you cash out, you don't get that money. Okay, that's just my perspective. Like we said, it's just my perspective.
No, I respect that.
But real estate, that's why they call it real. Okay, they don't call stocks real stocks. They call them stocks because it's a formal way of gambling is basically what it is. You see what I'm saying?
No,
and people don't want to look at it like that.
Come on.
I'm not getting it. I'm just an opinion.
Listen, we're going to have fun. Keep it coming, bro. Keep it coming.
Yeah. But the thing about stocks, my portfolio, one thing I've learned about this is no matter what happens, if the market crash and whatever, unless you got properties nobody's in, you're going to still make money because people need a place to live. When the market crashed, there's a lot of people made money. You know why? because one, people are going to always need to be entertained. Two, people are going to always need a place to live. Period.
Do you do real estate full time, Benny?
I'm a business and life coach full time.
Okay, so real estate.
I diverse my portfolio and I'm not a real estate person. I don't sell nobody properties. I'm just acquiring.
Okay.
Okay. I ain't got time to be showing nobody no apartments and none of that stuff. I just want that more money, and I want generational wealth.
I want you on that.
You know what I mean?
Do you manage your own pieces? The property that is?
No.
You got a property manager?
I ain't got time for that. Nobody got time for that. I told you what I am. I'm a business and life coach. I made my money in business and life coach. I figured if you're going to make 7 figures, then you need to spread it out somewhere. Because when people don't want to hire me no more, I need the money to work for me. I'm like Martha Stewart. I make money when I'm asleep.
There you go.
That's what it's about. And real estate will always do that for you, especially here in New York. So what you're saying, but the reason why I agree with Eddie so much, man, because you can be dead broke, but if you got a roof over your head, you can find a way to make money.
There you go.
Try to be dead broke with not a roof over your head and got stocks.
I disagree. First of all, you're not the person that I framed out. You're not average. You got a business, and you took the residual money and you bought real estate. Our person made $50,000, right? So I laid that out clear in advance. If you are a 7-figure earner and you are in real estate, it helps with tax deductions if you do it right. Now the IRS has made some changes, so for the individual person, it's not as easy that makes money, but there's some ways around that. So you're not the ideal guy, bro.
Yeah, the property should never be in your name anyway. It should be in your company name, and that way, with your capital gains and stuff, you can have stuff written up because technically, most people are going to pay about 30-40% based on if they're not a company. I'm not going to put mine out there. Let's just say I'm below 15%. Okay. There's a reason why, because you got to know how the money works for you. See, go ahead, sir.
I would agree with that for the most part. There are some folks who may have 1 or 2 properties. I don't know if I would advise for them to own real estate in the company name because they're not looking to build. And so then they don't really know how to leverage things. But for the most part, I would agree. If you're really serious about doing it, and maybe I just keep running across the wrong folks because I get people who incorporate or put every property they have in LLCs, and then they have problems getting financing. They have problems a lot of times.
I won't put it in LLC, though. I'll put it in.
I was just using that as an example. That's what I see a lot. I just see that a lot. All right.
Because building wealth, your money has to grow on a regular basis for you. The market goes up and down. That's why I call it invisible money. Because as long as your money in it, it's going up and down. And what I meant about earlier, and then I'm going to bounce off here because, I ain't come here to jump into that. I enjoy seeing people that look like us talking about money because we are some of the biggest consumers.
Yes, sir.
And if you want to check the facts, just last year alone, there was $1.8 trillion spent in luxury. Okay?
You should see how much money we spend in McDonald's.
I'm sorry?
Quarter. You should see how much money we spend in, well, not McDonald's, but fast food every quarter.
Well,
that's ridiculous.
Well, it is. I'm glad I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat that junk.
There you go. Me too, man.
Vegetarian. I knew something there. There you go. That's why I know you're smart, brother. You know what I mean?
I'm getting there. I play with it, but I'm not all the way there yet. But I do love my vegetarian brothers and sisters.
Yeah, man. But really, I really appreciate you guys, man. And yeah, I was going off in the room because I know some of those people in there. But I enjoy seeing people talk about things that actually make sense. And, Eddie, you went in all the way, not because Ellis is not winning, but simply because you are forward thinking. And Ellis even said, you said it yourself. You're older man. I'm an older man, but I'm about that paper. You know what I mean? Cash rules everything around me.
That's right.
Cream, that's right. Money.
Dollar bill,
y'all.
Hey, Benny, I'm going to post something I wrote about Black wealth in America, and I would love for you to read it and chime in on it. I'm going to post it in the room. It's 3 parts.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you're in New York, look me up. And
yes, sir.
We can have this conversation in person. When I finish with you, you'll probably be rolling with me to get some real estate.
No, I think I tell you what, I think I might roll with you to get some real estate, but I bet I have you rolling with some stocks too, bro.
Well, let me tell you, I learned from one of the best. You spoke about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett has one thing though, okay, and he only buys stuff he understands.
That's right, and that's the key element.
Money, but here's another thing: he buys tons of shares.
That's true.
Tons of shares. And like he say, once you understand how it makes money, you can always make more money. He's an intelligent, but he's been doing this damn near
all his life,
basically. So he's going to be ahead of the game, in that. But don't get it twisted. He understands where the money grows and how it grows. Okay, it's just most people are connected with him based on the stocks he's invested in. But he knows how to go and buy the company. Okay,
that is true. He operates more like a private equity firm.
There you go.
And I don't want to confuse folks with terms and get over technical, put you to sleep. But he operates more like a private equity firm and just goes and buys companies, like you said.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm in. I'm into asset acquisition.
I want
to buy it, and I want to move on. I want to be able to pass it on for generational wealth instead of just being rich, because rich is nothing. You can be broke tomorrow, but wealth goes from generation to generation to generation. That's why my motto is, it's not a game, it's a lifestyle. So Eddie, keep doing what you're doing. I'm glad to see you and Ellis working together, but as they say, you're the Michael Jordan right now. Ellis, you Scottie Pippins, but
no. I'm Magic Johnson. So
don't even
all the time.
Say that, man.
I'm good.
Magic Johnson got?
He got a lot. He has a lot.
Why,
he has a lot of business.
Why you think he got a lot?
Because he wants to put businesses inside of him. But that doesn't take away from the value of stock and stock investing.
And I'm not increasing. I'm not because I believe I got stocks too.
And I'll say this: if you look at the wealth gap between black and whites in this country, and I don't want to make this into a racial issue, but we lag behind because we weren't in the stock market. We love real estate, and real estate did not keep up with the stock boom over the last 5-6 years. Like I said.
Ellis,
come on.
There's more to that story.
No, there is more. There is more, right? We typically, like you guys.
Consumers.
No, I agree to that.
Retail prices. That's a given. They're comparing retail prices.
But I'm talking about people who are investing. We love real estate, especially residential real estate that doesn't yield as much return and income as a straight up rental property. So that's part of it too. Yeah,
because our only thing is that if you look in a lot of the communities that we don't own nothing that's in that community. And also we are consumers, like, I'm gonna just say this and I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna bounce out of here. But let's think about the hair care industry.
Don't talk about that. We
kill it, but we don't own nothing because it's owned by somebody else because they've taken over the manufacturer. They've taken over the distribution, but yet we are the biggest consumer of it. That makes zero sense to me. Yep. You understand?
I agree.
Money needs to grow. When you learn how to make your money work for you, you can go to sleep and wake up and there's more money and more money. Automatic money is the key. And upgrade, yeah, I'm single, but you got to bring your stuff up.
All right, we got Joe on.
Right.
Thank you, Benny. We appreciate you coming on.
Benny,
God bless you.
It was a pleasure.
Eddie, you the man. Keep it up.
I appreciate it, man. Let's connect, bro.
Yeah, Ellis, I love you, brother. I'm just messing.
It's all good. We gotta encourage our youth, man.
Absolutely. Take it easy.
Later. Joe Wilson, how are you, sir? You can't get video? Joel, you there? We got one more seat open if anybody wants to jump in.
I think Gab wants to come in because he just loses money in stocks, but he gains money in real estate.
Oh, man.
I want to hear from him. And then we want to hear
Amina, you want to jump in?
Yeah, Amina needs to definitely get in.
Upgrade to me. Now, we're a little over our time, so.
This always happens during the blab, though, right?
Gavin, how are you, sir? Refresh your browser, Joel. I don't know if you're on Chrome, but I've refreshed
Gavin, what's going on, bud?
Can you guys hear me? I'm doing good.
Yeah, how you doing, Gavin?
Now, I'm biased. I'm a real estate guy.
Okay, that's good. I'll take you all on.
All I know how to do is lose money at stocks.
Me too.
I'm good at it, though. That's my niche. I lose money at stocks.
All right, give that man at least 100 high fives just for that comment.
Well, that's why I'm in real estate, because I kept losing my shirt at stocks. I lost like a whole retirement fund.
Oh wow!
You know, I saw Amina say, "Do what fits for you." So now that we're not really battling, I've already admitted I don't believe in one particular asset class over another. I do believe that you should do what fits you.
Yeah.
Some people like real estate. They like renting and being part of the process.
Yeah.
Hey,
now, to be honest with you, I have made a little money in stocks. Okay. Now, I bought Apple. I bought Home Depot. I bought Visa when it first came out. I bought stuff like when everything tanked in like 2008. I bought like Apple like $80 a share.
Genius. And it ran up.
Genius. I still own it. All I know how to do is when everything tanks, I buy it. That's all I know how to do with stocks.
That's fine. That's called being a contrarian.
Being a what?
Contrarian.
All I know is everything was on sale.
Yeah.
You know what Warren Buffett says? We talked about it earlier. When there's blood on the street, it's time to buy.
Yeah. So he's absolutely correct.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Investing one-on-one.
Yeah, I'd actually like to do that myself. One of the biggest trades that I missed, and I knew would rock, was Bank of America, BAC. Again, that's not a recommendation for anybody. Just telling you my own life experience. It hit like $4.50. And at the time, I was doing radio, and that's how I kind of fell in love with this whole media thing. But it was $4. I said it on the air. I said it's going to bounce. It's going to hit at least 15. And that's tripling your return on $4.50 per share. And sure enough, it bounced, and it's up at 15 or 16 bucks right now.
Nice.
So it hurts being right and not making money off of it. Who cares about being right if you're not making money? That was the lesson I learned from that.
Well, I think if you sit there and can watch it all day long, can understand like what drives the markets, and somebody in the Middle East sneezes and it goes down 600 points, or if you understand all that stuff, man, rock on, because you can probably make a fortune. I don't have the time or the intelligence or. I don't know.
After a while, this little thing starts stopping if you look at the computer for too long,
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because I used to do that. I used to be an institutional money manager. I used to manage municipality money and pension money and things like that. And I would literally sit and watch the screen all day long. When I went into business for myself, I didn't have time to do that. And then I also realized that, your average investor doesn't have time to do that either. So I believe it's better to have a longer term horizon in terms of your investing. We talked about Warren Buffett. He buys his stocks with a 100-year time frame. So he's not expecting his stocks to make money for the next 100 years. He's not looking for a 1, 2 year or 3 year bump. That doesn't excite him. That doesn't do anything for him. That's not sexy. He says 100 years out. Now that's generational wealth. Or it can be generational wealth. But, you can do the same thing with real estate. But again, it's all about, I'm going to tell you what I think the ultimate combination is. If you're a business owner and you make good money and you take that money and you use your residual profits to buy stocks, I will buy stocks first, to be totally honest, and then I will buy real estate. And I like the stocks because it's more liquid. So when you're a business owner, you need liquidity. And then I will buy real estate. For me, that's the great formula.
I personally like taking liquidity, putting it into a self-directed IRA, a self-directed Roth IRA, then buying real property, and from then on, we're talking tax-free.
Exactly. Now, you know what I like? Instead of buying a property in a self-directed IRA, I like lending the money out
Hard
and
money
becoming a
lending.
lender.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
That works
Exactly.
good too.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So, you can make 10% on a 90-day bump for a project. You do that 4 times a year, you make 40%.
Yeah.
So, again, I could do this all day with y'all, real estate or stock.
Yeah.
But, it like one of the things Benny said, it is about figuring out how to make money. And once you figure that out, I think you're good.
But you know what I think the big problem is? How to make money is not taught in school. It's not taught in college. I didn't learn it in college. I spent 4 years in college. I didn't learn anything about money. I had to figure it out myself. My dad's got, he's a lawyer. Nobody taught him how to make money. I'm like, Dad, how do you do stocks? He goes, I don't know. All I know is lose money. I'm like, but he owns a whole bunch of rental properties. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm starting to, they don't teach it in school. They don't teach you the reality of making money, own your own business, cash flow, residual income, self-directed, tax-free. They don't teach you this stuff.
And really funny, when they talk about businesses, they talk about the income statement and the balance sheet. The most important statement is cash flow. But like you said, they don't even talk about that.
I started a business, true story. Started a business, was working for a guy, had my side gig. He knew what was going on. 1 month of my side gig, I opened my mailbox, opened up a check, was for more money on my side gig in 1 month than I made the entire year at my job.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it.
We got another question. I see Amina's asking me, Camari, do you own any investment properties? No, right now I do not own any investments. I have managed over 50 units as a property manager. I have owned and rented personally, but I don't have anything in the market right now.
But Amina, we're working on that, okay? So
yeah, he wants me to start wholesaling with him.
We're working on doing some things. Hey guys, don't forget to tell a little bird if you haven't already.
Tell a little bird.
Tweet it out. We want to break the internet like Kim and Kanye West.
Now, have you guys wholesaled properties before?
Yeah, that's what I do mainly. That's
Really?
what I do. Yeah, so
Okay.
I mainly wholesale properties, assignments. I rehab, and I'm a landlord as well.
Nice. Yeah, that's the same thing. I do wholesale. I'm an agent also, but I do wholesaling, but it's not my full-time gig. A lot of people do wholesaling, but a lot of people think wholesaling is easy, and
It's not.
there's a big no.
You can't say
It's a ton
that.
of marketing.
Eddie just painted this whole picture that wholesaling was so easy.
It is easy if you can find the deal. It's finding the deal. It's not easy.
Once you have the deal, I mean, now don't get me wrong. There's a lot of hiccups to a lot of different things. If you want to rehab, you gotta have a good control on your contractors. If you want to wholesale, you want to make sure your marketing game is tight. You want to, be a landlord, then you have to make sure you have a property manager, or you can manage it yourself. But gotta have somebody to find the properties for you, one or the other. So at the end of the day, there are hiccups, but I think it is a safer route if you're thinking about long term.
Now, I'll say this. Eddie does a great job illustrating and teaching about wholesaling on Periscope. If any of you guys are on Periscope, be sure to follow Eddie at Colson, COLSON 090. Follow Eddie Colson on Periscope. You need somebody to hold your hand for what upgrade to me? Oh, I got ripped off trying to wholesale. So she needs somebody to hold her hair. Where are you at?
If you want to hop in not the hot seat.
That's the hot seat.
Yeah. Is it the hot seat? Yeah, hop in the hot seat. Hop in the hot seat, and we can analyze everything, see what we can do.
Eddie, there's another question. All right. Candy Shop asks, what do you mean by wholesaling?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we should probably define that, right, Gavin?
Yeah, it might be a good idea.
Pretty much what wholesaling is, you see a property, you put it under contract as a purchase and sale contract, and then you assign the rights to that contract to an end buyer. So you see an investment property, let's say it's worth $100,000. Let's say that it has $20,000 in repairs, and you buy it for $40,000, and then you put it on a contract for $40,000, and before you actually close on the property, you sell the contract for $50,000. So you made a $10,000 profit. So You're not coming out of pocket. I mean, sometimes you may have to put up a deposit, of your own, but 9 times out of 10, you're not coming out of pocket. And and the deposits that you do have, you can negotiate small amounts. So wholesaling is pretty much how to get into real estate without using much cash or credit.
That about sums it up.
Now, Gavin, what part of the country are you from?
I'm in Florida, Central Florida.
So do you sell to a lot of pre-retirees and retirees?
I sell to a lot of retirees. A lot of retirees down here are either A, downsizing, or B, moving to the Florida market from, like, let's say Canada or up north. We've got a lot of Canadian investors buying investment properties. I do a lot of investment stuff. I'm an investor guy, a landlord. That's my niche, fix and flip. So a lot of investors call me, say, hey, we're looking for properties and whatever. And I was an investor before I was an agent. So I speak investor more than I do like real estate agent. And so, yeah, we're seeing there's a lot of movement down here in the Florida real estate market.
What made you become an agent?
I don't know what I was thinking.
Access to MLS. Are you getting killed with fees, man? I heard the fees are horrible.
My fees have fees.
That's
I got fees for all kinds of stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing. I got fees for.
Yeah.
Hello, Tiffany McLean. Welcome to Money Mondays. Hello, Laurel Patworth. Welcome to Money Mondays. Hello to Capital One with a K. Welcome to Money Mondays.
Hey, Gavin, did you have access to MLS?
Oh, that's why Capital One's my homegirl. That's Emma. She's going to beat me up for saying her name wrong.
No, I did not have MLS access before. It did give me MLS access, and I'm a marketing guy like you. I like to hustle and send out letters and knock on doors, which is really good for that.
Yeah.
But other than that, you can find an agent, and you can be disclosed as an agent's helper and get MLS access.
Exactly.
It's not worth the hassle and the fees. Trust me.
So, do you think you're going to stay
as an agent?
Yes.
Yeah, I love real estate. That's my heart. That's my niche. I mean, I love teaching people about real estate. I love doing it, and I love fixing and flipping and all this stuff. Sometimes it's not great. I mean, sometimes there's some difficult buyers or difficult sellers, or whatever. But I really like real estate. I enjoy it.
Okay.
It's not easy, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Welcome, Catalia.
How far are you from Apopka, man? I'm doing some things in Apopka.
I am not far from Apopka. I am maybe an hour. My wife's we used to live in Orlando, so Apopka is north side of Orlando, so I'm familiar with Apopka.
Okay, cool.
We were just in the area a couple days ago.
You do any investing in there?
I have in Orlando in the past. I'm not right now because it's far from where I'm at. But I know people up there that do.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. Let's talk afterwards, man. I don't want to. But we definitely need to do some things.
I got a question for you guys. How come most of the real estate investors are like old white dudes? I'm not being that, but I'm serious.
I have an answer for that.
They need more. I'm being serious.
I want to hear Eddie, though. I have an answer for that.
I think, at some point,
we need to shake it up.
Yeah, definitely. I think, at some point it was easier, for Caucasians to get, loans or pretty much just to get inside real estate investing anyways, because it is a contact sport. You do have to know people and know people and know people. So
that's true.
I think African Americans, a lot of times they don't know enough people in their community right now. I think we're getting a lot better. Definitely, Black-owned businesses are starting to, definitely help one another and things like that. But at some point, I don't think it was accessible to African Americans as it is, whites.
Great answer. I told y'all this kid's a genius. It's like a prodigy. I also say, though, you said, why is it mainly old white guys? Be honest, old white guys have the best credit usually. So when you're in that game, it helps.
That's probably true.
Yeah. And we're going to be talking about credit on our next blab, by the way. We said credit. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about, pretty much how to get credit, getting your credit right, any things like that. Any recommendations for a newbie getting involved in virtual wholesaling? We got to talk afterwards, bro. You got to go on my Periscope, man. Like, that's where a lot of the wholesaling knowledges go. But if you want to email me, man, just email me, Colson Buys gmail.com, and then I can give you some tips and tricks. But I would just say, first thing I would say, just hook up with someone. Hook up with someone to be your feet, and then just put the money behind it. That's pretty much it, really. Get somebody to be your feet and put the market behind it.
Capital One asks, what is virtual wholesaling?
Virtual wholesaling is pretty much what I'm trying to do with Gavin right now. As soon as he said he lives in Florida, I said, okay, boom, bada bing, we can do some virtual wholesale deals. So what I was thinking in my head was I would put up some cash for a mailing campaign, something of that sort. I'll call Gavin. I say, Gavin, I got this lead with this lady wants to sell this house for this price, that much. I don't know the area like that. Look up on MLS. Let me know if it's a good area. And then we pretty much sign a JV agreement and then close the deal. And he's the fee, and I'm the money, and I may be the one talking to the seller. So.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to something, right? Eddie was not totally honest with us. He said all you got to do to make money in wholesaling is go out and get some wholesale deals. He just said you need money for marketing. I said, okay. It's $25.
Okay. That's true.
Man. What's up with full disclosure?
There are now, you know what's funny? There has been a lot of deals that I got, and I pretty much teach a lot of people how to find deals without coming out of pocket for marketing expenses.
He's pivoting again.
I'm not pivoting, man. I'm being dead serious. So
your new name is Eddie, aka Pivot Colson.
Look, if you have
he's weaseling out.
If you have a cellular device, right? You have a cellular phone. This little thing right here. This is my money magnet right here. Okay, it's cost me, a certain amount of money. But I've had the same phone bill.
Right?
The same phone bill.
$25. More than $25, right?
More than $25, yeah.
You don't need a cell phone to buy stocks. Listen, I don't quit. If you haven't noticed that, I'm very tenacious. Persistence over resistance any day.
Yeah, man. That's what I go through, man.
Everybody's got their point of view.
See what I go through, man. I don't know why. I don't know, man. This guy. So look, at the end of the day, real estate is the best. I don't know what else to say. It's just better than stocks. I don't know,
Here's what you can do for wholesaling though. You can go down to the Home Depot and get some of those little plastic signs that are white, and you can take a big black Sharpie and you write, "I will buy your house for cash in days." And you go around all the Walmarts and you stick them at the intersections around the Walmarts. And your phone will be blowing up with people ready to call you to sell their house.
That's true. And
then what you do, when somebody calls, you think they're an interested buyer, you have them call Eddie.
Exactly.
And then Eddie will cut you in on the money. And then bam, you've wholesaled a deal.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many different ways. If you're on Facebook, Morgan Ingram, he just came in. What's going on, Morgan? He's a Facebook, social media guru, pretty much. This guy is a motivator, but he's on so many different social medias simultaneously, and he markets himself. I have closed a lot of real estate transactions from Facebook alone, and Facebook is free. I mean, I got to pay for Wi-Fi, but really I'm just some knucklehead with Wi-Fi. And, I get a phone call, let them know what I can do, and then we close the deal. But there's so many different ways, and one of the biggest ways that I do, find deals for free is using my phone, cold calling. So,
hey, Justin. I saw in the comments you said about somebody get your marketing paid for free for wholesaling. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Especially in real estate, there's a lot of scammers and stuff. I'm just forewarning. There's 14 times the crooks in real estate than there are in any other. I don't know what it is. So just be leery of people, promising you all kinds of stuff. And like Eddie said, I'm a real estate agent. I spend hours every day cold calling people. Hey, how are you? What's going on? You might want to learn either partner with somebody for the marketing or did we lose somebody?
I think we lost Camari, yeah.
Yeah, partner with somebody in the marketing or get somebody to help you because if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're hearing you now. We're hearing you. And like my mom said, Craigslist is free as well. Craigslist is free. There's so many different resources out there that's free. This is becoming the type of world where everything is online. If you're online, unless you just don't have access to Wi-Fi and don't live close to a Starbucks, you can pretty much.
Now, there's a question from Justin Archer. He said, I heard something from Chris Sedler about a way to get your wholesale marketing paid for. Oh, sorry, Gavin, you answered that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But this shows, though. Thanks, Candy Shop. Learning a lot. But we're like half an hour over. Tell us, what are some things you guys are interested in learning about money? I mean, any topic. What do you guys want to do? As you can see here, we're not conventional. We want to have fun. Benny said you don't see two black guys talking about money too often. We want to make it fun. We don't want it to be like the stodgy, stuck-up old white guys that Gavin talked about.
Well, at 3%.
I'm one of them. Look at me. I got in real estate on my hair.
You know what, Gavin?
Oh my God!
All my hair fell out too.
I don't even want to show mine.
I've just been too lazy to shave.
And what's left is gray.
I feel Okay, so Candy Shop wants to talk stocks. All right, we can definitely do that. What's your take on Forex? I think Forex is very dope.
I lost money in Forex.
The problem with Forex is, just like penny stocks, you can lose your shirt. So if you are new to investing, I wouldn't recommend penny stocks. You're seeing all these commercials. You can take 5,000 and make 500,000. That's a lie. Forex market moves very fast, very fast. And the way they calculate Forex is not the same way they calculate stock movements and everything else. So it's highly leveraged. It moves very fast. It trades overnight. Well, everything trades overnight, but there's a big overnight Forex market. If you go on to my YouTube channel, I did an introductory course for investing in stocks, and I talk about Forex. So I've traded Forex. I also trade through Forex through stocks as well. Yeah, you didn't know that, huh?
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Stocks.
Yeah. Hey, look, man.
Yeah.
I got some questions about you for stocks, though. I mean, for Forex, man, because I've actually traded binary options. What's the difference between binary
options and Forex? So options, you can buy an option on Forex. So an option is an obligation to buy or to sell a particular asset. So they have what's called call options and put options. So call is when you're buying the opportunity to buy something. So for example, let's say we'll stick with Microsoft we talked about earlier. Microsoft is selling at 40-ish, I think. So you believe it's going to go to 50. So you say, I want to buy these options, and we believe it's going to 50. And you can buy it. All you have to pay is the premium. So once it goes up to 50, you make money. You can cash out. But if it goes to 30, you don't lose any money. You lose your premium, but you don't necessarily participate in the stock market fall. So it's a great way to hedge. And a put is you're buying the opportunity to sell a stock. And I'm talking about stocks, but the same premise applies to Forex as well. So when a stock that Microsoft goes from 40 to 30, you just made money. You get to make the difference, and all you had to pay was the premium. But if it goes up, you don't make anything. You lose your premium. Now, people get very sophisticated with options as well. You can do a whole bunch of things. So when you start hearing things like strangles, straddles, and collars, that's some option talk right there. Forex. Now, Forex,
sounds
it can be, but not necessarily. Again, it's all about what you dedicate yourself to. Everything has a learning curve. You got to learn real estate, learn stock.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going to do, you got to take the time to learn. You got to invest in your craft. You got to apply your trade.
That's true.
But you asked about Forex, and what is Forex? Forex is trading foreign currency. For example, the euro, the British pound, the Japanese yen. I made a lot of money off the yen a couple of years ago. And so you can actually invest in another country's currency. And they go up and they go down. And you can make money when it goes up, and you can make money when it goes down. Oh, that's one thing I forgot. You can make money when stocks go up and when they go down. You usually can't make money. You usually can't make money in real estate when it goes down.
Yeah, but the stock market crashed last week, and you know what my properties
but
did?
If you would have shorted the market, you could have made money too. So it's all about flying a trade.
It is, and I'm envious because I don't know anything about stocks.
If you're on Facebook, join Stock Market Tigers. It's designed for long-term investors. We're not a trading room. It's really designed for long-term investors.
So I think you should talk to people about dividend reinvestment programs.
Trips are good. Does anybody hear that echo? Or is it just me? No.
Guys, if anybody want to come back in the hot seat, please feel free. We have an open seat. Don't be shy.
I want Mom to come in. Come on, marketing queen.
Nah. Mom's like, nah.
Justin, you are health and wellness. I hope you got your shirt on, man. All right, you got a shirt on.
How's it going, guys?
Justin, what's going on?
Good. How you doing, Justin?
How are you?
Good. Just saw the topic that I'd hop in because, I've been into financial education for kind of a long time, but more on the entrepreneurial side. And then just in the last few months, my wife and I have been doubling down, or I would even say tripling down on our financial education, just because, as I'm sure you guys are well aware, just all the economic turmoil and some serious shit about to hit the fan probably in the next year or two. So we're just trying to prepare ourselves so we know what to do and learn about virtual wholesaling and Forex and a little bit about everything. And virtual wholesaling and Forex is what we seem to be currently most interested in.
Okay. So is that going to be the move? Are you going to go into it?
Yeah, virtual wholesaling first, but kind of in the background, I'm still just the whole currency thing. Like I just told you, I finished listening to, was it James Rickards' Currency Wars? And that was really enlightening. Have you read or listened to that book?
I haven't. I've heard of James Rickards, but I haven't.
It's interesting. And then I guess his follow-up book was his Death of Money. And I'm very, very intrigued with the psychology behind just money. And I'm sure you guys know, like even in real estate or stocks, a lot of it's like what defines successful people and unsuccessful people. A lot of it is just it's knowledge, but also the way just you think about it.
It's mindset.
Yeah. So it's very
mindset combined with lifestyle. I told one of my clients last week who's getting a pretty big check coming up. The first thing he wants to do is buy something. And one of his things was, he says, I want to be one of the 1%. And I says, well, if you want to be one of the 1%, you can't think about being a consumer all the time. You have to think about being a producer. So it may not always work, but let's say you got $50,000 coming in. Your first thought shouldn't be to spend, how can I spend this $50,000? It should be, how can I turn that $50,000 to $150,000 or $200,000?
Yeah.
So we have a question here. Capital says, so is the best bet to invest in real estate and make stocks secondary and fluctuate income?
Buy stocks first, secondary, real estate secondary. Now, the rest of the room is against me.
Oh, Lord.
So, I think it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is passive income, for long term, either way, stocks or real estate's a great way to go. I think if you need quick cash, then you need to be doing the wholesale stuff. It depends on what your end goal is, and find your end goal and work backwards.
Camari's argument is that stocks is quicker than wholesale.
Are they?
But again,
to make money or lose money.
Well, it's probably just as easy to make money as lose money, depending on your.
It probably is. I know people make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a day.
Let's say that again. I got a big echo coming through, so.
I know people that made like hundreds of thousands of dollars in like 2 days in stocks. I know people that when Exxon Valdez happened, made a fortune. But I mean, they had a lot of money to begin with, but they knew how to play the stocks. And anytime there's like a natural disaster like that, they're like,
it's just like what you said, right? It all depends on what your goal is. And it all depends on what you want to do, like what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Like I admitted earlier that I've rented and managed property. I never want to do that again. So I said I'm lazy. I'd rather sit and read investment reports and annual reports from companies than go out and evict tenants and clean up feces and urine that tenants that left from my properties. And that's a real live story. So I'm not as good as Amina, who's gone 20 years with no evictions and no walkouts.
Gavin, you have a property manager, right?
No, I do it all myself.
You do it all yourself?
Mm-hmm. Well, now wait a minute. My wife is a therapist by trade. So we not only give you a rental application, but a psychiatric evaluation at the same time.
Yeah.
And so far, it worked great.
Seriously?
He hypnotizes them to make them pay his rent on time. I love it.
You were going to pay me on time. Well, no, we've got systems for it. I learned from a guy that was a police officer that ran 100 properties, and he worked full time.
Okay.
So we systematize everything. We send out invoices. We do everything, and they auto pay every month. If you have a problem, they call an 800 number. They don't call me. They don't know where I live. I dispatch all the guys.
Valor D.
I'm hands off.
Says if you want to invest in stocks and invest in real estate, you can invest in REITs. And we talked about that earlier.
I think you had a good point about just that it depends on also what lifestyle. Like I know when my wife and I were delving into like the research stuff, it was let's learn like on the surface, about stocks and options and Forex, and in real estate, let's look at wholesaling and rehabbing and all of them, and then kind of weigh them and go, hey, which is most our style? Which are not only which work with us so that we can build the lifestyle we want, but also what kind of fits, like what makes us kind of excited. And for us, it came down to virtual wholesaling and Forex. And right now, we're putting virtual wholesaling on the front burner and Forex on the back burner. And so I think that's it too, because if you wake up every day, even if it's something that, it can make us a lot of money, but you despise it, you hate it, it's like, that's going to suck. So
I would agree.
So Justin, though, what are you doing for long-term wealth? Because, virtual wholesaling and stocks, I mean, what are you going to be doing?
Right now, putting again on the front burner, virtual wholesaling. Like I said, we're just getting into this. Both of us, myself a little bit longer, just been into entrepreneurship. We started, we started traveling about 4.5, almost 5 years ago, and have been kind of doing that nonstop while running businesses online. So I know we have kind of a odd, kind of unorthodox lifestyle. The good thing is because of that, our overhead expense has been really low. So it's been, it's been easy to, whereas some people may need, hey, we need this much coming each month. We're like, we don't need as much because, we don't have a mortgage or rent. Well, actually we have a mortgage, but we're renting. Hey, I guess we're kind of in real estate. Yeah. Cause we were renting our place out in San Diego. So it cash flows a little bit.
Right.
So how much is a little bit, and what are you using? Is it a market rent?
The condo that we purchased, we did purchase it with my dad. He helped us with the down payment, and then our roommate stayed behind, and then we rented it out to someone else, and about $200 a month. So not much, but it covers the mortgage and utilities and everything, and cash flows a little bit. So.
Got any equity in that bad boy?
I haven't actually looked in a while because it's just kind of, we've been fixated on our businesses. So I think it's kind of like almost by accident we stumbled into, we're renting everything. And the guys that are there are super, super awesome and low key. I mean, I haven't really had any, issues. Maybe someone hypnotize them. That's awesome.
Justin, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any earbuds? Because I'm getting a crazy echo.
Yeah, let me see.
Or move closer to your microphone.
Might do that.
While you're looking for it, I just want to answer a question. Hey, everybody, tell a little bird. Remember, you're watching Money Mondays, 7:30 every Monday. And we usually run at 8:30, but we're doing overtime today. Valor,
does that help at all, any with the echo?
I'm still hearing it, but maybe it's just me. I thought it was maybe feedback.
David, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to Money Mondays.
Valor D Kingdom. Why do many of the wealthiest people invest in art? There's a couple of reasons. Yeah. They invest in art because they want to diversify. They don't want to have all their money in either the stock markets or in real estate. Good art usually makes for a great asset that appreciates over time. Many times it appreciates higher than stocks or real estate because it's more of a collector's market. So you get a good Picasso or Van Gogh and you get it at Sotheby's or something like that, and you have the money to buy it, you're good to go. And oftentimes they're like one of a kinds. So these people are going, it's more of a supply demand type thing. So these people are going, they're making any more art. People love it. They revere it. And so it has value. And you know what? That just reminded me of something. Eddie said gold has value because they're not making it anymore. That's not really true. That's what a lot of people say. Gold has value simply because people want it to have value. They think it's worth something. But gold really doesn't do anything. It doesn't really have much industrial use.
More hoarded, right?
Right.
Versus silver.
If you look in any electronic system right now,
you have more silver than you have gold.
Probably.
Right. So gold is more for regalia, just dressing up, jewelry and things like that. There is some gold. Don't get me wrong. There is some gold and electronic conduction and some card, again, electronic things. But it's not as much as you think. It's not as much as you think.
I see. I actually collect gold. So.
You like tangible investments.
I'm a gold fan. Like
most of the people I know that hold gold are like moving to Utah and building bomb shelters and all this other stuff. Because they're survivalists. Yeah, because gold is like tanked in value over the last I don't know how long. Well, and I think it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of gold, but as a long-term investment, I don't think it really doesn't gain equity, does it? It just kind of.
Right now, I'm buying silver because silver is a lot lower, and gold is actually a lot higher.
Why are you buying silver? You know what? Let's table that question.
I'd be interested in
silver is an all-time low.
Of buying gold and or silver. Like, what is the intent or the that you speculate? Well, if this, then that's gonna.
Right now, that's gambling. People talk about the stock market gambling. That's gambling. Now, I could start talking about the gold silver ratios and things like that. I don't want to bore folks, but there are times where it's great to buy silver or even to buy gold. But like Justin said, it's been tanking the last couple of years. Now it's bounced in the last 2 weeks, but it doesn't pay a dividend. You're not getting paid to hold it. It's just sitting there. It's not doing anything for you.
I mean, but it's not that type of investment. It's just another diversity, So you have first off, at one point, money was backed by gold, right? Before the Fed
1971
left it all up, and so inflation, the price of paper money continues to tank. That's why we as investors, our job is to beat inflation. Our job is to have a higher percentage than inflation. That's why banks pretty much lend us the money that they got from us. But the point is, if you have gold, it's stable. It's usually riser. I mean, if there was bad time, in good times usually gold is less, and in bad times gold is higher. So in those bad times, you can pretty much sell that gold and in good times you can buy gold. So buy it low and then sell high.
It's kind of interesting, huh? Like different individuals' perception of reality. Because obviously, because I take it, Gavin, you know more about real estate. That's why some people like, which is better, real estate or stocks? And it's like, well, which are you more knowledgeable about or interested in learning about? Because you can make, if you're really good at real estate, you can make a lot of money. But also, if you know nothing about real estate, don't go into real estate. Or if you don't want to learn about it, don't go into it. If stocks interest you more, you can make a lot of money in stocks. You can make a lot, or lose a lot. And then like gold and silver, I mean, I do know of people who have made money on that, lost money on it. I'd find, again, I'm so fascinated by the psychology of it. It's like, you think about all the our currencies, and it's like, why is the dollar worth a dollar? Because we say it is, or how come gold or silver is worth this much? And like it's interesting when it's like, what's the last thing we traded that actually had intrinsic value? Yeah, like food and like, I have a sheep and here's some wool and some grain. And it's like, after that, everything like.
The dollar doesn't necessarily have dollar because people say so, right? So what you have to think about what moves the market, supply and demand. And the central banks all buy dollars. So you have people buying dollars so they can do transactions, whether they're buying oil, which transaction dollars, or gold, which typically transaction dollars. So it's a little bit different. Part of the reason why the United States isn't on a gold standard anymore is because everybody around the world backed their money against the dollar. So when things would be good or bad, they would use the dollar as a blanket. And so that forced the United States to buy gold or sell gold. And at some points when they were running, they realized they could run trade deficits. They didn't have to buy gold anymore. So gold really doesn't have a value. It doesn't say that you're not going to get paid. The reason why the United States doesn't need to be backed by gold is because the United States has the best credit in the world for these corporations around the world. So it's not that simple. It's more perceived cost. And Justin's talking about the psychology of it. The psychology of it definitely plays a major part. Now, there were some other questions in the room I want to make sure we get to. So you can invest in me because I'm healthy, valuable, one kind of art. Okay, upgrade to me is artsy. She's an art lady. Amina 49's question. Suggestions on getting young folks into real estate. I don't think you have to worry about that, really. Everybody loves real estate. Everybody.
Now, there's a lot of people out there that doesn't know about.
No, I'm not saying they don't know. But I would say more people know about real estate investing than they do stock. It's definitely the popular.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, but they don't understand the concepts of leverage, like mortgage, passive income, this type stuff. Like, I can buy a house for $50,000 and in 5 years it'll be worth $70,000. I can pay down the mortgage. I can rent it out for more than I pay a month, have monthly income on it. They don't understand that.
And then if everything goes south, you can live in the property.
Yeah.
Can't live in a stock. You cannot live.
I think the best way to get young people involved is to get young people to teach them real estate, is get them involved. I mean, my 4-year-old son goes with me and looks at houses.
Yeah.
And he's like, Daddy, I want to buy this one. I want to buy that one. I mean, he doesn't get it, but he gets the concept that we're buying houses and selling houses and rehabbing.
So, four-figure
freedom, like education and everything.
Yeah, four-figure freedom states if Africa creates its own back currency, the dollar will be worth nothing and gold will be worth a lot more, as an example, if that happened. So I'm assuming when you say Africa, you're speaking of the African Union, all of them creating their own currency. I would say they would have a great run. I don't know that the dollar will go anywhere, but Africa has probably the greatest amount of natural resources. And oil still trades in dollars. The dollar is still the dominant currency. I don't see that changing anytime soon. But there's a lot of credence to what you're saying for freedom, for figure freedom.
But the theory there is if something happens to the dollar, if you have gold, you can trade currency with it, right? If the perceived value of the dollar is now worth nothing because the perception it's attached to something is gone, then you can use gold to trade, right?
Yeah, that's
pretty much gold.
But my theory is
you can use gold in any country, anywhere. You know.
Yeah. My friend, we were debating this, and he's like one of these doomsday guys. I'm like, well, you're buying gold.
Exactly.
I'm like, well, if I buy ammo, I get the gold, right?
And people don't realize that in bad times, you don't want gold. You want ammo. You want food. You want water, and you want shelter or transportation.
You want seeds.
See, but the thing is, gold, silver, diamonds. I mean, it's commodities. I don't just say gold. I think when I think gold, I think commodities.
Any of those commodities. But
I want to be able to give a duffel bag full of diamonds to my kids, before I die. I just want to be able to have a safe full of gold bars, just waiting for them. If I give a safe full of cash, cash, straight up cash.
Just get those instead of
work out with Four Figure says so that the U.S. has credit, the dollar doesn't. I don't really think you can dissect or bifurcate the U.S. and the dollar. They're one and the same. I know some people will argue and go into the whole Fed theory, but they're one and the same for the most part. Candy Shop asks, what type of credit score you need for real estate?
I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do.
For wholesale, you don't need one, right?
Exactly. It depends on your situation. Look, you can use real estate for any situation that you had. I was working at a pharmacy making $7,500 every year, and I got into real estate. So, you don't have to. You can get into wholesale, and if you want to buy a property itself, I mean, you gotta have like the average. I think it's like 650.
Oh, you need credit.
Like the average. Yeah, I mean, if you want to buy a house to live in it from a realtor, if you go to the realtor, we're talking about investing, you can use other people's money. If I call Gavin, Camari, or Justin and say, hey, give me $20,000, and I'll pay you back that $20,000 in 12 months with 10% interest, I can do something with that $20,000 and flip it. So you don't need credit. You don't need credit. As long as me, Gavin, Justin, and
you're
Camari
making it sound way easier than what it is.
It's okay. Nothing's rocket science, but
it's simple in concept.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of what I did. I found a seller that had a bunch of property she wanted to sell. And I said, would you be willing to hold a note? Would you be willing to be the bank? She said, sure. I said, I want to buy $200,000 worth of properties. How much do you want? She's like, well, I want $100,000 down. I want this per month, whatever. I said, no. Here's what I'll do. I'll give you $20,000 down as a deposit. And I want no payments for 6 months. She said, okay. So I've now leveraged $200,000 worth of real estate for $20,000 down and no payments for 6 months. Not only that, I'm cash flowing $3,200 a month.
That's $20,000
I'm paying her $1,200. I had to have the $20,000 first. I borrowed.
Most people live paycheck to paycheck.
My partner came up. My partner came up with the $20,000. Now, if you live in paycheck to paycheck, yes, I agree. You got to come up with the money. It takes a little bit of money somewhere. Whether you're wholesaling, whether you're buying rent, you got to have money somewhere. So if you don't have it, borrow it. Partner with somebody. Say, look, I will partner with you. You're going to be the equity. You're going to be an equity partner. When I sell, you'll get a partnership with the equity, or you're going to be a cash flow partner. Do you want a little bit per month?
Well, I think that's a perfect example.
Or you can have a marketing campaign.
Yeah, and I mean, marketing, or the example that Gavin just gave, exactly. But this kind of goes back to what we were talking about though earlier. Is like younger people knowing where to start. It's like again, they're. I think a lot of people's perception of like real estate. Most people, when you say real estate, if you ask what comes to mind, it's like, oh, you buy a property, you rent it out. And that's like the one and only strategy. Or like stocks, like, oh, you buy a stock, you hold on to it for the long term. And like for most people, I think that's like the one and only strategy. There's not, all these other things. that you guys know, and that people that know more than you know. So for a lot of people, it's just like A or B. And, from your guys' point of view, it's like, well, within A, you have A.1, A.2, A.3, and you have all these different strategies. Yeah. And it's like, so, screw the dollar, the euro, the real estate, everything. It's like knowledge is the best currency. Like you can get, as long as you can get creative and you can make money. I mean, someone sold a pet rock, for God's sake, at one point. Like, you can make money with rocks.
Yeah.
It's like,
if I know how to fix a car, and you don't.
I mean, who buys chia pets?
I've been tempted to, but I haven't.
Someone called me a chia pet the other day. It was kind of hurtful. And now you just said chia pet.
I've never been called that.
It keeps haunting me.
It keeps haunting.
Was it
they made it in an endearing way?
I've never had that.
They said it was because of my hair. I don't know.
Okay, so what other? Because we're trying to create a program for you guys to deliver the best value possible on anything money. So what other things, money topics, do you want us to do shows on?
Well, someone said crowdfunding. I think Amina said crowdfunding. I think that's a great topic.
What was it?
Crowdfunding.
Oh, okay.
Crowdfunding is great. I actually know a couple of guys that are,
What about...
I think crowdfunding is the great equalizer, or one of the great equalizers, or it can be.
Yeah. Something else I've been seeing popping up on Blab, and I am definitely not an expert in it. I know just enough to be dangerous, but is like the rise of Bitcoin and overall cryptocurrencies. I'd be interested to hear your guys' take on it, pros, cons, yada, yada, where it might be in our lifetime in the next 5-10 years, et cetera. Whether now we're just spitballing the topic for later.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. Some people think Bitcoin is like currency, but the IRS categorizes it as an asset. So you get taxed on it when you buy and sell it. And there's not a whole lot of stabilization in that currency. So I'm not a Bitcoin fan. Just like I'm not a gold bug either.
At some point there'll be a cryptocurrency. I don't know if anybody here watching. The cool thing is that because I know in the blockchain there's no more. It's just shy of 22 million that can be created. It's like 21.999999 something 7 that no more can be created. So it's literally hard written into the code that a government or someone couldn't get a hold and be like, oh, we're just going to make more. Thus
so there's no hackers out there, though? I mean, I don't know.
The hacking doesn't come with the code. The hacking, where there has been hacks done before, and again, I'm not a Bitcoin expert, but where I've heard them happen is the transferring from wallets, like because you have Bitcoin wallets. There's a public, what do you call it? Public record, of transactions. So that way the same Bitcoin doesn't get spent again. So if I give you some Bitcoin, I don't keep it, and then I can give it to Gavin over here. Like it would show that I gave some to you, and then I, wouldn't have that Bitcoin. But you also have private wallets that they're digital wallets. And what I've heard is when things have been hacked and people have lost it, it's been in it's been in that, I guess you can say transaction or that kind of thing.
If you give Gavin Bitcoin, he's not going to know what to do with
it. You're like, thanks.
It does fluctuate, though. Like Bitcoins does fluctuate, I heard. I actually heard you can buy real estate with Bitcoin. I read about it. Yeah. I can't do anything.
Yeah, the person will be willing to accept it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, exactly. It's like, it's a, I mean, it has been volatile. It seems to be, I don't follow it like every day again, but it like seems to be staying out more. And it's funny because some people, when they got early on, it was like to make this money. And then I've heard some people who are Bitcoin experts say like, you're missing the point. We want it to stabilize. We're not, I mean, yay, for everybody who's made a lot of money, good for you. Those that lost money, sorry. We're looking for it to stabilize so that there's more faith in it. People are using it more. And the good thing that it has going for it is every day, every week, every month, every quarter, it is getting easier to use. People are using it more. And therefore, I think that's why it's still up and down, obviously, but it's starting to stabilize because also it's getting easier to use. Like there was email way before AOL, but like it was very difficult to use and only really techies knew how to do it. And then once you came out with the basic email, it was like who you were sending it to, what's the subject, and I mean, all of us and grandma, could use it as a symbol.
But
not only is it,
it was standardized. So
but not only is
you had to have standardization. Who's going to be the central party to standardize Bitcoin? And
that's the whole point. If it is a decentralized currency,
right? So
not only you can't just invent your own currency. Not only that, it's a virtual currency. You don't actually get it.
I mean, we've invented currencies,
but it's a virtual. But I have coins in my wallet. I have dollars. Bitcoin is an idea.
Yeah. Oh no, but it kind of comes back to like a dollar. Like, again, the reason we say $1 worth this or that is just because we say it is. Like, a coin doesn't mean
no. But you have $1 in your wallet.
Hey, but Gavin, you know what? I
haven't touched cash in years.
Before they said no, we're not taking any more gold. We're taking this paper money. Someone probably will just like, but it's paper.
Right.
What value does it have?
But it's tangible. You're not going to have a computer crash and lose gold. Oh, my gold's gone.
True. Yeah, it's virtual.
Hold on. Amina's giving us some more suggestions. Gentrification. But is gentrification really money? Or is it really just another way to talk about real estate?
Gentrification is another way to talk about real estate.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah, it has a lot.
She also talked about tax abatements to stimulate redevelopment, good or bad. Investment clubs, do they work? Okay. I have a suggestion, Amina, since you're on here, and I know you're IRL, who you are in real life. I would like to know if you would like to come on and talk about commercial construction, which she teaches, and working with municipalities to build up, like she's talking about redevelopment. Would you or I forget your partner's name, be willing to come on and do that?
Yeah, if someone wants to come on, I actually have to hop off because it's about dinner time. So if someone wants to take my place.
Yeah, I'm starving too, and we're an hour in overtime now.
Guys, I'm gonna bounce out also.
All right, let's stay connected though, folks.
All right, I'm leaving, guys. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, you're awesome, man. Let's connect, bro.
Eddie, connect with me. Yeah, I'll run up and I'll send you the MLS on that property.
Okay,
guys.
Follow it, everybody.
Thank you, Ellis. Thank you for the education in stocks. I need some. All
right, let's stay connected.
I don't know anything about it. You need to teach me.
All right, let's do it.
All right, take care.
All right, Justin.
Amina, do you have a camera
for dinner, Justin?
Let's see. What are we having? Oh gosh, there's a number of choices, but some type of veggies. Probably some sweet potato carrots and sweet potato fries, excuse me, and maybe carrot fries too. And I don't know, some type of good protein.
Cool.
We'll see.
All right, man.
Well, enjoy your dinner.
All right, man. Take care. I like the show. What time are you guys?
Every Monday. Every Monday, 7:30.
Every Monday, 7:30. Cool.
Yes, sir. Mondays.
Awesome, guys. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Amina, do you have an iPhone or a Samsung? Because if you have a camera on your phone, you can get on with us. So
I mean, we pretty much, how long have we been over? Oh, it's about
we're over an hour and 15 minutes roughly.
Yeah.
So you can download the Blab app and you can jump on with us. So just pick up Monday and we'll slot you in.
All right,
Amina is doing big money deals, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and she's teaching folks how to do it. She's teaching folks how to work with municipalities, cities, and townships, acquire property that may be undeveloped or unused, and then taking those properties, developing them up, and either renting them or selling them. But tax credits and some other economic stimulus programs are things that she talks about.
Cool. Well, Amina, we need to hook up too. We definitely need to hook up.
How you doing, Michael? I believe it's Michael Cross. We're coming to closing on our day. We talked stock versus real estate. I was the victor. Stock is definitely better than real estate.
Oh, okay. All right.
You got to be able to tell when you're in a room full of crazy folks.
Yeah, yeah. So he was the victor, Amina? Was he the victor? Because I don't think so.
Well, Amina's biased. She's my friend, but she's biased.
She said no.
All right. Any other suggestions?
I think we need to let everybody know who we are.
All right. Who are you? Boy Wonder? So I'm going to start calling you Boy Wonder.
We are Money Mondays, coming to you every
Amina.
Monday, 7:30 p.m. Stocks, real estate, and business ideas.
Yep. We talk all things money. My name is Camari, Ellis. I'm an investment and tax advisor. Love stocks, as you guys can hear, but I actually love all things investments. So that includes real estate, stocks, sometimes gold, but not too often. But until next time, we'll see you next Monday for Money Mondays at 7:30. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Deuces.